Hi everyone. Good evening. This is Ami Meera, head nutritionist and lifestyle expert from Luke's team. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you all are doing well and making your quarantine quite productive by staying physically fit, mentally, physically. So, with the soaring temperatures, I thought of bringing to you all a very interesting topic on suffering, sharing the recipes and health benefits because we all know hydration is important. It's very crucial for each and every cells of our body for functioning at its best. In case if your body is not hydrated, you may experience frequent UTI, dry skin, lack of energy, digestive issues, and so on and so forth, to name a few. So let's start with our five drinks. I'm going to share the benefits of each and every drink which I speak. Meanwhile, Tina will also be posting recipes in the comment section. And in the last 15 minutes, we'll be opening the platform for question and answers. So let's start with our first drink, which is lemongrass and mint iced tea. So that is my personal favorite, and uh, whenever I look at lemongrass or mint, the only words which crosses my mind are refresh, rejuvenating, soothing, extremely cooling. And that's right. I'm sure many of you will be able to relate to what I'm saying. So now let's break up the benefits and look at the benefits of lemongrass first. So lemongrass is also called as Hari Patti ki chai in Hindi, and in Marathi it is called as Gauti chai. It is extremely beneficial when it comes. It acts as a diuretic, which means it helps in reducing the water retention. So many of you all must have experienced that in the morning when you wake up, you cannot pull out your finger ring easily, or there is swelling under the eye. That is called as water retention. That helps in reducing the water retention. Second, it is excellent for your lung health, meaning it helps getting rid of your cold, cough, flu. Thirdly, it is excellent. It is very rich in anti-inflammatory properties. So there are two components which is called as citral and geraniol. It helps in reducing the inflammation in the body. So in case if you are suffering from any inflammation, ensure that you are incorporating lemongrass in your routine. Also, lemongrass is widely used easily in your Indian masala tea. You can just have like lemongrass infusion. You can have the cooler iced tea, which I just mentioned about. And also, it is widely used in the Asian cuisine. Now, coming to the benefits of mint. So, mint, again, like we say, pudina, the small tiny leaf is so easily available in India abundantly, and you must be finding in almost each and every household. So again, pudina, again, like I said, it's extremely cooling. So it's very good for your digestion. It's good for your gut health, meaning it helps in reducing the acidity. If you have any kind of bloating, digestion issues, like you should be incorporating mint. In fact, many of us incorporate pudina so often in our sabjis, biryanis, while making chutneys. You can, like, in our tea as well, but we know the benefits of mint. Also, mint is many studies have also shown that mint also helps in reducing the PMS pain, which is premenstrual pain, which usually women suffer every month. So just sipping on mint, this thing pudina tea, will definitely help in reducing the cramps and the PMS pain which you're going through. That was about the lemongrass and mint iced tea. Coming to my second drink, which is variali sharbat. So variali, it is called sof in Hindi, and fennel seed in English. Again, you must be like, this is abundantly and easily available across the country, and the main benefit is it is used as a mouth freshener firstly. So why is it used as mouth freshener in many of the houses, and it is supposed to be consumed post meals? Only because it is very rich in carminative properties. Now, what do I mean by carminative? Which means it helps in getting rid of your gas, any kind of bloating, It helps get rid of acidity. So that is one thing. Main property of Varyali is to really have a good, helps in very good gut health. Secondly, also, it is a very strong galactagogue, meaning it helps in improving the quality and the quantity of milk in breastfeeding mothers. So it is really important that to incorporate, in case if any of the lactose here, I mean, this is a great tip for you. So try and incorporate Varyali regularly, and like I said, it's great for your digestion. So that is about the Varyali Sharbat. Thirdly, Ragi Ambil. So many of you all must be, consuming Ragi any which ways regularly. But now let's look at the benefits. It might be new for some of you. Now, let's break it into, the main ingredients of Ragi Ambil are buttermilk and Ragi. So we are really blessed to be surrounded with so many millets, and Ragi. So Ragi, firstly, it is gluten free. It can be easy to people who are allergic to gluten. Secondly, it's extremely rich in fiber. So once it is rich in fiber, it helps regulates your lipids, your sugar, and of course, it's a great. Since it is rich in fiber, it helps in clearing your bowels well. Also, it's very high on calcium. So the calcium rich source you all can think of. Coming to buttermilk again, it's extremely cooling to the gut. Secondly, buttermilk can also be consumed by people who are lactose intolerant. It can be easily consumed. And also, good thing about this ragi ambal is it can be given to infants also. Many people prefer having it either in warm form or cold form. So I personally like it in little cold form. Also, you can have it for your food or as a mid meal. So it's a has good amount of proteins, and ragi is a good complex carbohydrate. So the combination of both really goes well. That is about the ragi ambil. Coming to my fourth drink, which is bale sharbat. Bale sharbat, again, it is called as wood apple in English, and it is very local to people from north. So not available in Mumbai as such, um, but you can find this bale powder on Amazon. So bale fruit is a very sweet, fleshy fruit. It has like a good pulp. So again, this pulp, it's very rich in fiber. So like I said, since it is very rich in fiber, it also acts as a good laxative. It clean your bowels. Secondly, it also helps curb down the acidity. Second, second good point of bale is it is also known to heal many ulcers. Like if you have stomach ulcers, duodenal ulcers, peptic ulcers. So it's really extremely soothing to the gut. So that also helps. Bale also helps in getting rid of the ulcers. Thirdly, it is also known to fight bacterial infections. So it is loaded with antimicrobial properties. Also, we just talked about fruit. Now the leaf of the fruit also is known to help bring down your sugar levels. So the leaf will be easily available on Amazon. But again, like I said, avoid taking any of these without your doctor's prescription or a nutritionist prescription. So it's always best to have under guidance. So that was about bale. Coming to my last drink, which is soul curry. So again, that's my personal favorite, because that's the only I wait to arrive so that I can really relish on soul curry. And the color is so enticing. It's like lightish pink color. Again, soul curry comprises of two main components, which are kokum and kokum. So now again, looking at the benefits of kokum. So again, kokum is a fruit which is very rich in fiber. And also, if you see the outer layer of the fruit, which is very thick, has a component which is called as A, which is hydroxycitric acid, which is also known to reduce appetite. So since it is high in fiber and also it helps in suppressing the appetite, it is great in boosting up your metabolism, thereby leading to fat loss. So kokum is extremely good for this thing, fat loss and metabolism. Secondly, it also helps in preventing any kind of acidity, bloating, gas. So it's extremely cooling to the gut. So that's about the soul curry, kokum. Now coming to milk, again the best thing about coconut milk is it can be easily consumed by people who are vegan, who are not consuming dairy. Secondly, it is very just on the gut because they are rich in medium chain fatty acids, which are called as MCTs. Also, coconut milk consists of 50% of lauric acid, which is the miracle. So lauric acid possesses anti-inflammatory properties, antimicrobial properties. Also, it helps boost up the metabolism. So when it comes to coconut, we always say it is the fat which cuts the fat, meaning it helps in improving the metabolism, thereby leading to helping you with the fat loss. And in like it also, it's great when it comes to your thyroid or any other condition. So don't think that coconut is rich in fat and be consuming. It's really good for your health. So the combination of coconut and coconut milk again is really a good combination, I mean, to go with. Many people prefer the soul curry to have it like a drink, maybe in mid morning, mid evening, whenever it's convenient. And some people also prefer having it with rice, like as a curry and a rice. So that depends upon you totally. So I think that's it. I mean, these are my 5 topics. And also one last thing I would like to touch base upon is basil seeds. So again, basil seeds called sabja seeds in Hindi. Gujarat is called as takmari. So some people get confused between chia and basil seeds. So it is also called as faluda seeds, because generally faluda is something we consume in summers. So it is that is what we added on faluda to act as a cooling to the gut. But that doesn't mean that you go and just have faluda, because we have really different ways to incorporate basil seeds in the routine. And these basil seeds are very rich in herbal fiber, so it helps reduce the bloating. It is extremely cooling when it comes to getting rid of your indigestion, any kind of gas. So it's really good. So you can add a teaspoon of your basil seeds to your variali sharbat, bale sharbat, or else simply you can have it like in plain waters. That's it. So I hope you all found this topic quite interesting. And when I say about the hydration, just don't blindly and pop in, drink the sugary loaded stuff just to gain the energy in this summer. So that is the reason I thought of coming up with this topic and replacing it with healthy sweeteners, so you all can have it like as many times as you want. It's extremely so I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and I think I'll be opening the platform for question and answers.
Okay, for all those who have any questions, you can post it in the Q&A section. Ami, there is one question about, do sabza seeds need to be chewed or can they directly be swallowed while drinking?
No, it is up to you. I mean, they are very mushy any which way, slimy. So you can either chew it, or else even if you directly gulp it, no issues. Absolutely fine.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Most welcome.
There's another question that says, if kokum is not available, what can we replace it with?
So again, see, kokum, I mean, there is no replacement of kokum as such, because kokum has its own benefit. So you will get kokum easily on Amazon. I mean, you can definitely go and have another drink. So like I said, just simply 1 teaspoon of basil seed throughout the day. That will also cool down your system, or else just have like 1 tablespoon of roasted fennel seed powder, mix it in water and have that throughout the day. So that will be equally good to go.
Can sabza seeds be consumed by women?
Sorry, I didn't get that, Ina.
There's a question that says, can sabja seeds be consumed by women?
Absolutely, absolutely. As in, sabja seeds can be consumed by male, female, everyone. Extremely good. It's extremely rich in fiber.
Okay. Do we need to soak the sabja seeds beforehand?
So sabja doesn't really take time, in swelling up. So even you like even if you soak it like 5 minutes before consuming, it will instantly swell up. So yeah, you have to swell up. I mean, you have to soak it before consuming, like 5 minutes before consuming.
There's another question that says, can ragi be added to milk instead of buttermilk?
So yes, so no, since milk is heaty in nature, we would not really go for milk as such while adding to ragi, because we are talking about the coolants. So in fact, if you're not consuming buttermilk, either you can go for coconut milk, or else you can just add plain water. Even that is fine. But try and avoid milk because it's quite heaty in nature and difficult to digest on gut.
Thanks for that, Ami. There's another question that talks about the Varyali Sharbat and what are the benefits and when should I have it?
Okay, so benefits of Varyali Sharbat. So like I said, it's very rich. It has carminative property, meaning it also helps in relieving your any kind of bloating, acidity, any if you have any gut issues, you should be consuming Varyali. And like I said, you can just add like 1 tablespoon of roasted fennel seed powder. Keep having that throughout the day instead of plain water. And also you can just incorporate, even if you have no time of consuming Varyali Sharbat, just have like roasted Varyali in form of mouth freshener 2 to 3 times a day. But it's extremely good when it comes to gut health, improving your digestion.
Okay. There's a question on kokum. Should it be had fresh or dried? And does it need to be soaked prior to consuming?
Yes, so you get two types of kokum. Always try and go for the fresh one, the wet ones. Dried kokum will really not ooze out much of a liquid. So always go for the fresh ones. And yes, you have to soak it at least for 5 to 6 hours before you make it anything.
Okay. What about where can you get kokum? This person lives in Delhi, so they're wanting to know where that.
Delhi, again, it might be a little difficult. See, again, one property of kokum is it imparts sourness to the food. So since it is very local to Maharashtra, like people in Maharashtra prefers adding kokum to each and every meal for adding sourness. Likewise, South Indian people, they add tamarind. North India, they always add anardana. So you might not get kokum so easily, but you'll have to check on in the grocery stores, or else it's available on Amazon as easily, like it will be delivered. So you can go for, I mean, Amazon, the safest option, because it's not easily used in Delhi.
Is there a trustworthy source or brand for kokum?
Yes, Urban Platter is there on Amazon. They really deliver, I mean, good quality stuff. They really deal with good quality stuff. So Urban Platter is the brand.
Okay. There's a question on how good is Goond Katira. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right.
Yes, Gund Katira. So again, it is kind of a edible gum only. So there are two types of
Yeah.
gum. So one is edible gum, which is Gond, which is very heaty in nature, and this Gund Katira, which is exactly opposite of Gond. So it is extremely cooling to the system. It also helps, clearing your bowels well, and you can have it in the form of porridge. It's very good. That's a good point. As in, I was expecting somebody would ask this question, so that's really good.
Chia or sabza, which is better?
So again, both has its different properties. Like I said, sabja seeds are very high on soluble fiber and it's very cooling. Chia seeds, they are very rich in omega-3 fatty acids, good proteins, and again fibers. So both are equally different. And sabja seeds, like chia seeds, you can just sprinkle it on your fruits, like on your smoothies, and have it. Sabja seeds, you can just have it like in plain water and just consume it.
Okay. Someone's asking, is dried lemongrass as effective as the fresh one?
Dried lemongrass, yes, it's extremely fine. I mean, you can go ahead and have it.
Dried and fresh, or which one is preferable?
So see, again, I would recommend, as far as you get fresh, always for any item, just try and go for fresh. But in case if it is not seasonal or if it is not easily available, then always resort to second option is, I mean, dried lemongrass. So that doesn't mean that you stop having them. It will equally be beneficial when it comes to its cooling, cooling effects and imparting that strong flavor.
Okay. Someone's asking, should sabja seeds be soaked and had first thing in the morning?
Not really. I would not recommend. Always start. See, any which way, since I told you, sabja seeds are rich in fiber, right? So since our body is into acidic state, and we really don't want to bomb, and fiber is bit difficult to digest. So we really don't want to bombard our body by just adding fiber first thing in the morning. So try and just start your day with a glass of water and then maybe proceed with sabja seeds, like later, gradually increase fiber throughout the day.
Okay. There are a lot of questions about sabja seeds affecting men in terms of, affecting the urinary tract, or women and estrogen levels. So, you want to say something about that?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Is this the question? Can sabja seeds be consumed by women, as heard it
Um,
affects this estrogen? Which
yes, that's the question. And for men, they're saying that they may get problems in the urinary tract. Is that correct?
no. So what happens? I'll just when it comes to males, or in fact many women also experience so frequent urination on having any kind of fluids. So it's not only restricted to sabja. So in case if you have any issues, like if you have to wake up frequently at night for the urination, I would personally recommend try and restrict your fluid intake, water intake post 6 o'clock. So it is nothing to do with sabja. Absolutely no. And also, sabja seeds can be easily consumed by women. It will not affect the estrogen levels, not at all. Because we also have to look at the quantity, right? I mean, we are just recommended 1 teaspoon, like post swelling, it will be like too much. So that is enough and it doesn't affect estrogen.
Thanks, Ami. Someone's asking, women who face hot flashes due to menopause can follow these tips, the 5 tips that you've mentioned?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. In fact, when we speak about hot flashes, it is always about, cooling. Like we have to cool your body. So these are really great drinks to have it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, do we need to roast fennel seeds
Yes.
or have it raw?
No, if either it is fine. I personally prefer having it roasted just because the flavor is enhanced more. But nutritionally, nothing will really be impacted. So either you can have it roasted or raw.
Okay. Someone's asking whether lemongrass powder instead of leaves, as if it's not available.
Sorry, I just lost you for a second.
Can you use lemongrass powder instead of leaves?
Yes, of course, of course. So personally, I'm really addicted to lemongrass, so in case, like if I really don't get fresh lemongrass, like I said, always prefer the fresh lemongrass. You can always go for the dried form powder. Absolutely fine.
Okay. I know you mentioned 1 teaspoon of sabza seeds, but someone's asking how much chia or sabza seeds can we have in a day?
So always try and restrict to 1 teaspoon of each. The reason is since both are very rich in fiber, we also get fiber from our whole grains, pulses, your fruits and vegetables. So always remember, fiber is extremely good for your body, but overdoing of anything is really not good. So again, if there is too much of fiber in the day, then you may face bloating, digestion issues, and too much of fiber will not let absorption of iron, zinc happen in the body. So overboard, don't go overboard with anything. 1 teaspoon is fine.
Okay. What about jaljeera soda post dinner? Is that something that's advisable, and how often?
So again, jaljeera is extremely good. You can, but no soda for sure, because again, soda is very high on sodium. Sodium retains water, and usually we always say that dinner has to be the lightest part of your meal. So avoid having soda because it will eventually it will retain water, and if there is too much of water retention in the body, it will lead to bloating again, bloating, acidity issue. So
Okay.
if you're talking about the digestion, like if you really wanting this jaljeera soda for digestion of digesting food, might as well I would recommend you to just have jaljeera, or just simply take walk or sit in vajrasan. That's it, you will be sorted.
Okay. All right. Someone's asking if we can add sabja seeds to sattu water drink.
Yes, of course. Sattu again is a great drink. It's very rich in proteins, very cooling. So you can absolutely add sabja seeds to your sattu water drink.
Okay. There's a question on gulkan use.
Hmm.
It has lots of sugar but has cooling effects. How should it be consumed?
So again, gulkan, yes, it's again made from rose petals. So always look for gulkan which has khandeshari sugar or raw sugar. So that is still okay to consume. We have many brands of gulkan which are dealing with khandeshari sugar and not the raw refined sugar. So 1 tablespoon will really not do too much of harm when it comes to sugar. Extremely good. It's very good when it comes to inducing sleep, curbing down your acidity. So you can go ahead and consume with the
Okay.
one with the khandeshari sugar. Yes.
All right. What about sabja seeds had throughout the year? Is it necessary only during summer, or
Um,
what do you
Yes.
suggest?
So again, see, you also will know your body type. Like some people are, they have really heaty body throughout the year. So I would personally recommend even in winters, you should then be consuming sabja seeds. But if you're really fine, your energy levels are fine, if like your metabolism is really good, then it is okay in case if you avoid sabja seeds in winters. That's fine.
Okay. Um, Someone's asking about Tetra Pak or dry powder coconut milk. Is that something we can use?
So personally, I would not recommend you, but since we we always have to be little practical and more realistic, every time see, firstly, coconut milk making at home is pretty easy. But if you're a vegan and consuming dairy on a regular basis, then it's a different thing. But outside coconut milk are really loaded with stabilizers, this thing, preservatives. So try and avoid as much as you can. Once in a while, it is fine. But otherwise, if you are having it on daily basis, then I would prefer making at home. It's pretty easy. It's very easy to make coconut milk at home.
Okay. Can we give sabja seeds to kids?
Yes, of course. But then the quantity will be really less. Like just try with 1/4 teaspoon mixed in water. Don't really go overboard with them.
Okay. I'll just take one last question, Ami, and then we can wrap
Yes,
up.
sure.
Are coriander seeds also cooling?
Yes, the akadana. Yes, so coriander seed is very cooling to the body. It also is excellent diuretic. So it is very good if you have any kind of urinary tract infection, or if there is any water retention in your body. It's really good. The coriander seeds.
Okay. Thanks so much for answering all our questions, Ami.
Most welcome, Tina. Thank you so much.
Could you please recap the 5 recipes once again? So for those who join in late.
Yes. So firstly, we spoke about the lemongrass and mint iced tea. Second, we spoke about variali sharbat. Third, we spoke about the ragi ambil. Fourth, we spoke about bale sharbat. And fifth, we spoke about soul curry. So try and have at least, and of course, we touched based majority of the points on basil seeds. And these are like locally available. So at least, if not rest of the things, try and at least incorporate 1 teaspoon of basil seeds in your routine. Like just fill up your bottle, just pour the sabja seeds and just keep having that throughout the day.
Great. And any pointers on when these drinks should be had? What you would advise first thing in the day or at the end of the day?
No, so any of these 5 drinks which I spoke about, they can be consumed anytime throughout the day because they are extremely healthy. But like I said, if you have a tendency of waking up in the night and frequently using the washroom, then restrict yourself, having this drink post 6 o'clock. You can otherwise have it anytime.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Ami.
Most welcome. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you everyone for participating. In case if you have any more queries, please reach out to me on Instagram. My handle, Tina must have posted it on the chat. It's Amisha1203.